your paddocks are gappy, you might have soldier fly. This paddock here has been recently sprayed out because of soldier fly infestation. Soldier fly larvae feed on through the roots of the cane plant and inhibit returning. The easiest way to check for soldier fly infestation is to dig out a few stools. And a good time to do this is from September through to about May. We'll just have a dig on this stool here to see what we can find. We're looking here underneath the stool now, and we're looking for small larvae of the soldier fly. Here we can see one just embedded in the soil here. We'll just pull him out for a closer look. And there we have the larvae of a soldier fly. It's this larvae that sucks the juice out of the roots. And there's a theory that the larvae also inject a toxin into the plant which affects the returning ability. Here's a nice big fat juicy one. That's another soldier fly larvae there, which is not far off pupating. Notice that they look very different to cane grubs. Totally different to cane grubs. They're flat, they've got a hard body, and when you look at them closely, they've got patterns of hairs on each segment. You also notice on the stool itself, compared to cane grub damage, most of the roots are still fairly intact, whereas if the severe cane grub damage, all those roots would be pruned off. One of the other characteristics of the soldier fly infestation is that quite often the edge rows and the ends of blocks are a lot less gappier than patches within the block. Okay, we're back in the laboratory now with the BSES entomologist Dr. Peter Sampson. Peter, what management options are available for growers who have soldier fly?
Well, if a grower's got a block they know has soldier fly and they're taking it out this year, what they need to do is get any soldier fly out of that field before they plant the new crop. And the way to do that is to have a break from cane, which will starve the larvae out, which means plough-out replant is definitely a bad idea. There's a couple of options for a break. One is to have spray out the old return with glyphosate. Second option is to grow a soybean cover crop, and both of these will work as long as the field is kept free of grass and cane volunteers that would serve as a food source for the larvae. And it's also important to have as long a break as possible. So the break should start early, rather than the grower leaving the block till last cut. They'd be better off cutting it earlier and destroying it as soon as possible, and then make the end of the break as late as possible by planting in spring rather than autumn, which means they have a long break, plus if the cane's planted late, it means when the soldier fly adults fly in April, May, there's no crop for them to lay eggs into, and there's no cane for the small larvae to feed on. And that will all work. If it's done that way, there's no real need for any extra cultivation to try and kill the soldier fly. The cultivation doesn't add anything, and it may just destroy any natural enemies that are in the field. So that's if the grower's replacing a crop. If they're planning on returning the block, the best advice is just to cut that return at a time when it's likely to return well. So if it's, say, cut at a bad time when the ground's very cold and it's returning slowly, soldier fly, the effect of the soldier fly is likely to be worse.
Thanks, Peter. So the important points in terms of management for soldier fly are harvest infested blocks early, spray out return so that the block is cane and grass free by December, say. If planting a legume, keep it grass free and volunteer free, and plant the next cane crop in spring. If you'd like more information regarding soldier fly, have a look on the new BSES website. Under the Pests and Diseases tab, here you'll find research papers and an information sheet.